If you asked anyone about Ridgewood, they'd tell you it was a peaceful American town tucked between the Tennessee hills and long-forgotten highways, a place where Friday night football felt like national holidays. The smell of apple pie drifted through open windows, and every neighbor knew the kind of car you drove, and probably how many miles were on it. But if you looked closer, if you let your eyes adjust to the cracks beneath the surface, you'd notice something else. Ridgewood wasn't quiet at all. It was holding its breath. And it all started with the night Emma Dalton returned home. Emma hadn't stepped foot in Ridgewood in 14 years. Not since she left on a Greyhound bus with nothing but a backpack and the kind of heartache people don't talk about. She had sworn never to return, not after what her family had done, or failed to do. But a single voicemail changed everything. "Emma, it's your father. I need you. It's about your brother." Her brother, Kyle. The boy who used to chase lightning bugs with her in their backyard. Who stood up for her in school. Who promised they'd leave this town together. The same brother who later vanished without a trace one stormy August night. No one ever found him. Not a shoe, not a scrap of clothing, not a single lead. Just footprints ending at the river and a community that preferred silence to truth. Emma had tried to forget. She couldn't. Now she was driving past the Ridgewood sign with her old black Chevy rumbling beneath her and memories pressing like ghosts in the rearview mirror. The warm southern air felt thick with everything unsaid. Her father wasn't waiting on the porch when she arrived. The house seemed smaller, more fragile. But inside she found him older, thinner, with eyes that had lost their fire. "There's something I need to show you," he whispered, as though the walls were listening. He handed her a small metal tin. Inside lay a waterlogged photograph of Kyle from when he was 12, and a more recent picture taken who knows when. Kyle. Older. Alive. Emma's breath hitched. Where did this come from? Her father shook his head. Someone left it on the porch last week. No note. No explanation. Just this. Before she could process it, someone knocked on the door. Sharp, hurried, almost desperate. Sheriff Lucas Hayes. He looked at Emma with a mixture of surprise and dread. "Did your dad tell you? Because we need to talk. Now." Emma narrowed her eyes. "Talk about what?" The sheriff pulled out a battered notebook. "Someone in this town knows what happened to Kyle, and they're not hiding anymore." That was the moment Ridgewood exhaled, and everything began to unravel. The first unexpected twist came 5 minutes later. Lucas revealed that Kyle wasn't the only child who disappeared that summer. 3 other kids from 3 different families vanished within the same week. The cases were quietly discontinued. Files lost, reports misplaced. Lucas had been a rookie officer back then. He had seen the truth buried under politics and fear. Emma felt a surge of anger burn through her. "So you're telling me the town covered it up?" "No," Lucas said. "I'm telling you certain people did." Before Emma could respond, another knock echoed through the house. This time it wasn't the sheriff. A brick smashed through the front window, landing on the living room carpet. Attached was a note. "Leave it alone, or you're next." Her father stared at it, trembling. "You shouldn't have come back." Emma didn't sleep that night. She drove to the edge of town, to the old diner where she used to work summers. It still smelled like burnt coffee and nostalgia. Sitting in a corner booth was someone she never expected to see again. Her childhood best friend, Noah Reeves. Hair longer, face rougher, but the same stormy blue eyes. "You heard?" he asked. "Everyone heard," she replied. "What are you going to do?" Emma stared out the window at the dark road. "Find out the truth." Noah hesitated before leaning in. "Emma," before Kyle disappeared, he told me something. Something I didn't understand. About a place in the woods, and a man who watched him. Emma felt her stomach drop. "Why didn't you say anything?" "Because," Noah whispered, "I didn't think he meant it literally." Twist number 2 arrived like lightning. Loud, dangerous, and impossible to ignore. A car screeched outside the diner. Someone in a hoodie stepped out, threw something through the front door, and sprinted away. Noah tackled Emma just as a flash of fire erupted. A Molotov cocktail rolling across the floor. Flames licked the counters. Emma and Noah burst through the back exit moments before the diner exploded in a thunderous roar. Someone wanted her gone badly, but Emma had survived too much to walk away now. The woods behind Ridgewood were older than the town itself, thick, tangled, and always a few degrees colder. Locals avoided them, claiming the trees remembered things they shouldn't. Emma didn't believe in legends, but she believed in clues. At dawn, she and Noah hiked to the place Kyle once mentioned. It took hours of searching, pushing through briars and mud until Noah stopped abruptly. "Emma, look." Hidden behind a curtain of branches stood a forgotten building. An old cabin sealed with heavy iron locks. A rusted lantern hung by the door. The ground around it was covered in footprints, fresh ones. Emma's heart pounded. Kyle was here. Inside the cabin, dusty light filtered through cracks in the boards. Maps, notes, photos, a wall covered in newspaper clippings. It wasn't a hideout, it was an investigation. Someone had spent years tracking the missing kids. And one picture, pinned in the center, made Emma freeze. Kyle, older, bearded, alive. Next to it was a handwritten message. "Emma, if you're reading this, they know. Run." "Who's they?" Noah whispered. Before Emma could answer, the floor creaked. Not theirs. Someone else was inside. A shadow lunged. A struggle burst like thunder across the cabin. Emma ducked as a wooden plank swung past her head. Noah shoved their attacker back, revealing a face they both recognized. Sheriff Lucas Hayes. Emma gasped. "You!" Lucas raised his hands quickly. "Whoa, Emma. I'm not your enemy. I followed you because I knew you'd come here. Someone else is coming. We have to go. Now." But Emma wasn't convinced. "You knew about this place?" "Yes," Lucas said. "Kyle contacted me 3 months ago. He's alive, Emma. He's been investigating the people behind the disappearances. And he's close to exposing them." "Then where is he?" Lucas swallowed hard. "That's what I'm trying to figure out." Twist 3 slammed into them when gunshots shattered the windows. Someone shouted from outside, "No survivors!" The cabin erupted in chaos as Emma, Noah, and Lucas dove for cover. Bullets tore through the walls. Lucas kicked open a back exit and they sprinted into the forest as the cabin went up in flames behind them. Someone wasn't trying to scare them anymore. Someone wanted them dead. Hours later, hiding in an abandoned barn, Lucas revealed everything he knew. The children hadn't been kidnapped for ransom or revenge. They were being trafficked through a network run by prominent Ridgewood families. people with power, money, and connections deep enough to bury the truth for decades. Kyle had escaped them, but instead of disappearing, he'd chosen to fight back. He's trying to take down the entire ring, Lucas said, but he can't do it alone, and neither can we. Emma clenched her fists. Then we find him, Noah nodded, and we finish what he started. Their search led them to the edge of Ridgewood, an old meatpacking factory that shut down 10 years ago. Locals said it was haunted. Kids dared each other to go inside. Adults avoided it entirely. Perfect place for criminals to hide. Inside, machines creaked in the darkness. The air smelled of rust, dust, and something far worse. Emma's flashlight flickered across metal hooks and conveyor belts frozen in time. Then she heard it. A voice. Emma. She spun around. Kyle. Older. Exhausted. Scarred. But unmistakably him. She ran to him, tears spilling before she realized she was crying. He held her tight, whispering, "You shouldn't have come. Too late," she breathed. But the reunion lasted only seconds. Clapping echoed behind them. Stepping out of the shadows was a man Emma knew well. Mayor John Holloway, the beloved face of Ridgewood, sponsor of every town event. The man who gave Emma candy every Halloween. "Touching," he sneered. "But your little crusade ends here." Kyle stepped in front of Emma. "Let her go. I'm the one you want." "No," the mayor replied, pulling out his gun. "I want all of you gone." But before he could fire, Noah tackled him from the side. The gun skidded across the floor. Lucas fired a warning shot as more men poured in through the side doors. The room erupted into a frenzy. Punches, gunfire, shouts, metal clanging. Emma grabbed a broken pipe and swung at a man who lunged at her. Kyle fought like a man who'd survived hell. Noah held off 2 attackers at once. Lucas covered them with precision. Then twist 4. The mayor grabbed a control lever and yanked it down. A massive mechanical door slammed shut, sealing Kyle on one side and Emma on the other. "No!" she screamed, pounding on the metal. "Emma!" Kyle pressed his hand against it. "Go! If you don't stop them now, they'll kill the whole town." "Not without you," she cried. But the mayor's mocking voice cut through the noise. "He dies either way." Kyle reached into his pocket and slid something through a narrow gap in the door. A USB drive. "Take it," he said. "Expose them. End this." A final explosion shook the factory. Smoke, fire, shouting. Emma was dragged out by Noah and Lucas moments before the entire building collapsed in a roar of destruction. Kyle was gone. Again. The truth on Kyle's drive detonated Ridgewood more violently than any bomb. Names, dates, transactions, photos, documents, everything. The trafficking ring fell in days. Dozens arrested. The mayor captured trying to flee the country. News reporters flooded the town. Ridgewood finally woke up screaming. Emma became the face of the investigation. Noah stayed by her side. Lucas was hailed as a hero. But her father, he only asked one question. "Did you find him?" Emma swallowed her grief. "He saved us all." Every night she replayed his last words, his final look, his sacrifice, until one evening, weeks later, she found a letter on her porch. No stamp, no signature, just one sentence. "Some goodbyes aren't forever." Inside was a photo. Kyle, alive, smiling, standing somewhere far beyond Ridgewood. Emma felt her breath catch. Not from sorrow this time, but hope. The quiet town that never slept was finally at peace. And so, at last, was she.